6:30, we'll call Finance Committee to order. It is January the 5th, 2026, not 25. 6:30. Clerk, if you'll take roll, please.
Ms. Lang?
Here.
Mr. Rollins?
Present.
Mr. R. Smith?
Here.
First thing on the agenda is proceedings of finance minutes from 12/15/2025's meeting. Is there any?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, clerk take roll.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Under old business, number 1 is audits for 22, 23, 24, and 25. Ms. McGinnis, what's the status on these reports?
Clark Schaefer Hackett was here a couple weeks ago in office for the entire week. We got several things accomplished that week. They will be here next week as well to pull some disbursements and receipts and go through those.
You said they'll be here next week?
Yes. If it's anything like the last time, they'll be here Monday through Thursday.
And they're just gathering reports and such to move on with 2022?
Yes, usually. So I just read an email that was sent out last Friday. He's going to be, he got a check register that goes over a bunch of payments. He's going to be pulling physical copies of those disbursements to verify the information. They'll do the same thing with receipts to verify that everything was processed correctly. They pull documentation from payroll to check those as well. So.
Okay. Is there any questions from anybody else on the committee?
There's Mary.
Moving on to item number 2, penalties and appeals. The status on that?
The only correspondence I've received so far is the actual letter from the IRS stating that we're going to be getting that 30% payment for the first quarter 2022, I believe, penalty, but there's been nothing else.
And that was the letter that we received mid-December, is that correct?
Yes, I believe it was, maybe it was a little bit later. It was later in December. I have it on my desk. I can send a copy over.
Have you heard anything else from Voorhees?
No.
Anybody else have any questions?
No.
Okay, moving on to item number 3, ordinance 2026-001 budget. This is the ordinance, clerk, if you want to read, or do you want me to read it?
I can do it. An ordinance to make appropriations for salaries and benefits and other expenditures for all funds during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026.
So at this point, there's really nothing new on the 2026 budget. It's still waiting to submit the proposed recommendations to the state auditor's office and then get the response back from them on that. If anybody has anything that they would like to add or an update. We have been meeting regularly, weekly, to devise a plan to submit. Right now, there are 4 items that have to be submitted to the state. Item 1, 2, and 4 are totally in control of the auditor's office. Item number 3 is in control of the administration, and that we are working on. Do you have any?
I was working on it today. I plan to have it finished
By
before Thursday.
before Thursday?
Yes.
So it won't be available for the meeting this week?
That would be what I'm saying it's going to be available for us before that meeting.
And that meeting's on Wednesday at 2.
Meeting's Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
I
It's Wednesday at 2. The
Wednesday
weekly
at 2.
meeting that we do, yes.
Oh, I was talking about the meeting with Cindy from the state.
Oh, so you're meeting with the state auditor on Thursday?
Yes.
Correct.
Will you be at the meeting on Wednesday?
I will.
Is there any other questions? Okay, moving on to item number 4. Finance number 1, transfer of authorization. Clerk, if you'll read, please.
Resolution authorizing the auditor to transfer appropriate fund monies to Parks, Transit, Police, Fire, Pool, Central Garage, and Dispatch, and other funds approved by the council for the year ending December 31st, 2026.
Okay, this is being brought by the auditor's office. Ms. McGinnis?
Yes, this is a standard practice for the year. There is a transfer account set up in the general fund to support these other funds as well. And periodically we transfer funds out of the general fund to those other funds to cover expenditures. This is just giving us permission to do that.
Make a motion to approve, or to send on to council with a recommendation to approve.
I'll second.
Clerk, take roll, please.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item number 5, finance number 2, carryover 2025.
Ordinance authorizing the carryover forward of previously approved appropriations for ongoing projects into the subsequent fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026.
Okay, this is being brought by the Budget Finance Department, Ms. Toronto, and these are funds that are projects that were started but not yet completed.
Correct. So this is specific to items or projects that were started in 25 during that fiscal year but were not completed. So just carrying over those amounts for those projects to be completed and finish paying for them in 26.
Do we have an idea of what that amount is?
It's on the ordinance.
The back.
Some of them were also specific to certain ordinances that had been passed throughout the year in 2025. So I referenced those as well. The GL that they would be specific to, the department, the description or project that still needed to be completed, all of the information. And then it would be referenced so that it's all tied together.
About 1.4.
Did you have a question, Lynn?
No.
Are some of these covered by grants?
Some of them are, yes.
Okay.
Yes, so like the
The
airport one
Correct.
specifically, right?
Right.
Um,
And the Holland Road.
So it's, again, I just want to say it's not additional money, it's money that was appropriated in 25. It just wasn't able to be expended completely.
These projects were either started or in progress and haven't finished yet or completed and will build in 26 instead of 25, but it was all money that was already appropriated in 25.
I'll make a motion.
Go ahead.
No, please.
Make a motion to go ahead and send this on to council with a recommendation to approve.
Second.
Clerk, would take roll.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
And moving on to matters not on the agenda. I have I have a couple of questions. The cross-fund report that was given to me for the funds, the assets, and the liabilities, is that complete?
I guess I don't understand your question.
Well, if we haven't posted payroll and we haven't done the, deferred comp and as such, would those not be part of that?
No, they're not. So as of right now, it's including everything paid up to 12/31, but it does not include those payrolls.
So November and December are not in there at all?
Correct.
So it's actually technically, would we be making journal entries in to correct that? Or are we gonna rerun that report once we post all that stuff?
I plan to rerun the report. I just have to get the ADP reports uploaded first, and those are still a work in progress.
And then you'll run them with the end date of 12/31?
Yes.
So the current report is not an accurate account of what our cross-fund and liabilities assets are?
It is as of now, but not including those payrolls, no.
Any questions?
Just where are we at with the ADP process and
That was my
payroll?
next one.
How much time do you have?
We got all night.
Okay, well, ADP is a disaster. If I could get rid of it tomorrow, I would. Because the amount of time it takes that was supposedly supposed to decrease the amount of work in my office was a farce. It's taken twice that, if not more, because it's taken my payroll clerk all 40 hours every week since he started, plus me working additionally on top of it. So it's now like a full-time and a half job. There are far too many errors for me to feel comfortable continuing to use it. And it's not by any means whatsoever from lack of communication with ADP due to the things that we need it to do that we were told it could do, and now all of a sudden it's not, and it can't. So we are now having to backtrack and recalculate and pay again multiple employees several times over for things that have not been calculated correctly, have not been added, things that should have been working from the beginning and never have. On top of the reports not being accurate.
So in the conversations that I've had with several of the clerks in different departments, the employee's pay is correct there. But when it's transferred to your
Employees' pay
office,
is correct where?
on their screen where they're approving hours.
Their
and-
hours may be correct, but does not mean their pay is correct.
No,
Because I can
no, no,
give
no,
you-
no, I did, their time cards, their hours worked, vacation time, sick time that they want to take, those
Yes, their
hours.
hours are correct. That does not mean their pay is correct.
So where,
Where's the discrepancy?
Yeah.
That's a great question. There are CDLs that aren't being added, there are shift differentials not being added, there are longevity issues not being added, there's EMT pay not being added. And then on top of that, you have some of the correct deductions being taken out sometimes, and sometimes they don't get taken out. Depending on whether or not it was, sick leave sellback was a complete and total disaster, because there was longevity added and then PERS was coming out of sick leave sellback, which it's not supposed to because it's not workable hours, and that quote-unquote wasn't fixable according to ADP, which I think is a load of crap, if I do say so myself. But at this point, there's nothing we can do to fix it. So we had to refund employees for PERS that shouldn't have been taken out to begin with. And then on top of that, we've had continuing issues with payouts because PERS is being taken out of those when it shouldn't be. We have other issues with reporting. Our OP&F report that is supposed to pull our police and fire pensions do not include police and fire, so I have to build those reports from scratch. Our OPERS report does include police and fire, which shouldn't because they don't contribute to OPERS, they contribute to OPNF, so I have to build those reports from scratch. On top of the fact that reports that generate from the payroll run are incorrect, which means I have all of those lines to continue to go through and verify. Half of those calculations aren't right, if not more than that. And then on top of that, you have Jeff, who is every single day going through correcting errors that shouldn't have been an error to begin with. Because we were told repeatedly that things would be fine, things would be added, things would work. We were told, we set up, I mean, it took us hours to set up these wage rate programs that were supposedly supposed to make it easy for CDL drivers to get their CDL pay. I don't think a single CDL driver has gotten CDL pay the way they were supposed to. Not to include the EMTs, which for whatever reason, worked the very first pay and has not worked since. And they can't give us a reason as to why.
Has ADP come on site?
They will not. I have asked multiple times. The mayor has asked. They will not.
And the reason is?
They don't do that. So yeah, if I could get rid of it tomorrow, I absolutely would.
Is it a software issue between New World and ADP?
No, it has nothing to do with New World because I haven't even had the opportunity to try and input anything into New World because the reports are so wrong. I mean, taxes are not being calculated correctly. Deductions are not being calculated correctly. When you have people who have GL splits between 3 or 4 or 6 different GLs for their wages and their benefits and their taxes, I have to go through and recalculate to verify that every single one of those amounts is right, and that's never right. I had one employee with 216 lines of transactions that I had to go through and correct. One employee. I spent 14 hours in one day going through that report, and I think today I may be halfway through it. 14 hours was the 30th.
So do we need to get, is Jeff in the meetings with you, with ADP, or is it
Yeah.
just?
And Jeff will tell you the exact same thing. By all means, please, anyone come up and ask. Talk to Jeff and he will tell you the exact same thing. He is just as frustrated. He came in August. We were already going through the transition into ADP. I taught him as much of New World's payroll as I could because he needed to do payroll while we were transitioning. And even Jeff, who has not even learned the entire payroll process through New World, looked at me and said, I want to go back to that. Someone who has experience with ADP, who has done it before multiple times, and it's because it's an absolute disaster.
So why, I'm not understanding, we're not the only municipality that has ADP.
Then find me one that can do the exact same thing that we're doing. Because every time I try and get in contact with someone, they either tell me that they can't get me that information, or there's nowhere for me to find it. I go onto the bridge or whatever ADP has that's supposedly supposed to be the community forum, and you look in the Ohio group, and there's literally no one in there. There is not a single person that I can find to reach out to, or that ADP is going to give me because they quote unquote can't give out that information.
I'm just gonna have a couple comments. One is, she's correct when she says it's a disaster. If she's looking for somewhere to blame, or somebody to blame, I think all she has to do is look in the mirror of when this started, and her not being part of the process from the beginning, and then telling us it was tested before it was rolled out.
I never said it was tested.
I emailed ADP this morning. The lady that's the head of our implementation team.
Who we don't even have contact with anymore because implementation is over.
She wasn't aware of Marion having any issues. She sent me some emails later today that she reached out to the payroll team to get their feedback. No issues were brought up to them. The payroll account manager has spent many calls assisting Jeff with payrolls. The big challenge is that Jeff and Miranda constantly ask for changes to the calculations that were previously set up according to their request, tested and reviewed. So when we talk about ADP, I'm not here to defend them. They're not here to defend themselves. But it works in 30,000 other places in America and works quite well. So why Marion, Ohio, being our history of the problems that we've had in that office, but yet we're to believe it's ADP's problem? And I'm here to apologize to all of these people that work for us that can't get the paycheck right. Or sometimes wasn't sure they were going to get the paycheck the next day to begin with. Look, at some point, you have to take responsibility. And if this isn't working, then let's hear some solutions.
The solution is to get rid of it.
We're proceeding with transition to a free nation.
Quiet.
You do it, we want to attack you now.
So, what I'm hearing consistently throughout this from ADP is it's kind of like garbage in, garbage out, right? If you put in the wrong rates in the beginning, they're not going to be right. And when they're
Explain
trying
to
to get
me-
back a hold of her to correct these things and can't get a hold of her, or try for days on end and end up emailing me because they can't get a hold of her,
When did that
that's a
happen?
problem.
When did
I
that
can
happen?
go back and get you specific,
That'd be great.
but I can get specific. So, like I said, I can't sit here and listen to this whole ADP thing and have it all be blamed on ADP. Whenever we start something new, there's going to be issues with it. There always is. But we have to do our part on this end, and consistently, for the past several years, we haven't been doing that in that office, and it continues today.
Do me a favor, calculate time and a half for $30.78.
I don't have a calculator.
I'm not the auditor.
It's $40.16.
So, knowing that we have all these problems and everything needs to be worked out, I'm just gonna say, why was your office closed for the last 2 weeks?
When was my office closed?
Well,
My office has been closed when City Hall was closed. My office was not closed at any other point.
Friday it was closed.
City Hall was closed Friday.
No, City Hall wasn't closed on Friday.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I didn't have the staff to open the office because literally everyone took the time off, so it was closed.
Well, I don't know. I've worked in finance my whole entire career, and the last month, the last week of a month, and the last week of a year, it has always been no vacation, no time off, all hands are on deck. That's just the way it's always been. Every office or business I've worked with, because those are the critical times of the year, and the month, for that matter. Closing out one month, beginning with another month. Closing out the year and beginning with the new year. And especially on a Friday when there's a payroll that's not right and nobody can get hold of you. And my phone started blowing up at 7:30 in the morning.
So did mine, which is why I was up.
I'm on council. I'm not in the auditor's office.
I don't know what to tell you. Give them my number.
Is there anybody else that wants to make a comment or has a question?
Does
Yeah, come up.
well,
Please come up here and state your name and your address, please.
Keith Price, I work for City of Marion, at 3645 Marion Bucyrus Road. Does ADP take care of health savings account? Does ADP take care of deferred comp?
No.
Okay. I haven't had a deposit in my health savings account for 2 months.
That was taken care of
I don't
by-
believe deferred comp's been deposited for the last 2 months.
HSA should be taken care of. That's done by Amy upstairs.
Okay.
Depending on which Ohio deferred comp was paid last week. So that may take some time to get in there, but it was paid before the end of the year.
Is that a monthly or
Yes, it's a
A quarter.
per pay.
it's per pay? So if they haven't had anything deposited since,
I got my statement for November and nothing was deposited through November. I haven't had one for December yet.
so that's a loss of revenue.
I mean, is everybody else having that problem also?
We'll be, wait till you check those for the time.
And then another question is, who's keeping track of our occurring vacation, our sick time, and all that? I mean, how are you gonna figure that out? Because that, we haven't been showed the vacation we've got since October. You know, how's that gonna be straightened out?
That's being worked on this week.
Sounds like it hasn't been
It
resolved.
hasn't been great. I mean, I'm a union vice president, Steve's the president, and, you know, we've got complaints every week, you know. You know, these guys are coming in plowing snow, the big snow, week or the weekend before Christmas, or maybe 2 weekends before Christmas, guys had 20 hours overtime, expecting to have it for Christmas. You know, they didn't get their money for, till what? Friday, day after Christmas?
Friday, the 26th, the day after Christmas.
You know? And then you guys gonna want these guys to come in and plow snow and stuff, when they know they're not gonna get paid. You got a bunch of young guys, you know, they can't even come up to a meeting. You think they're gonna come in on overtime when they're not getting paid?
Sorry about that. I know that doesn't put money in the bank.
So who is tracking PTO and vacation time?
We
It's
are.
being done by the internal auditor right now.
By the internal auditor?
We are.
Yeah.
It's been 7 months since this transition, and we have had to keep track because E-Suites is no longer being used and stopped accruing in E-Suites. I have like 60-something days of sick leave. I have like 33, 34 days of vacation. I've had to keep track and, you know, at home for the last 7 months to keep track.
Will you guys make sure you go up to the podium so we can get all this on the mic for the minutes, please?
I think we have 8 pending grievances right now, or 8 grievances, 10 now, that have been filed by the unions because of payroll issues. And we're, when we see them, we're like, yeah, you're right, and we send them on to the auditor's office to try to get it taken care of. And I want to go back to one thing. We wouldn't even be talking about ADP if back historically, we would have had more than one payroll clerk, or more than one person that knew how to do payroll. So our payroll clerk up and quit, and it's like, okay, Miranda, do you have somebody as a backup, like we told you to get somebody trained, you know, so you had at least 2 people in the office to be able to do payroll? Nope, so it fell back on her again. And great, I bet she's busy as all get out, but a lot of it's because she pulls it on herself. And otherwise, we had to find something. I had mentioned going to Clemens Nelson and having them come in and do it in the interim. She didn't want to do that, so we ended up with ADP.
I recall having interviews for payroll clerks, at which point the mayor asked me why I was bothering to interview if we were going with ADP. Because the entire purpose of interviewing was to fill that position and not have to transition to another department, not have to transition to a third party. And I was instructed to stop because ADP was coming, and within a week it was brought to council.
We were trying to relieve pressure off of your office because of everything else that was overwhelming you. So by the time we hired
So
somebody.
relieve pressure by putting in a transition.
Steve Norris, City of Marion, worked for the City of Marion Sewer Treatment Plant President, asked me, Local 1158. We represent sanitation, recycling, street department, central garage mechanics, transit department, wastewater operators, plant maintenance, and sewer maintenance, street maintenance. Yet none of our checks have been correct since this started. And the big thing about the, especially the accrual information, somebody mentioned 10 grievances. to file a grievance, you have to prove or show where the union contract was broken. The accrual information, there's no contract on that. There's nothing in the contract with ASME and the City of Marion. But it is in the city handbook, the city's own contract. Every pay period, there will be a running balance remaining sick leave, comp time, vacation, holiday. None of that has been on ours since eSuite shut down in October. Now you've got people using vacation, occurring vacation. Everybody's got to have to keep track of that, their own. Same with sick, they occur sick every pay. If they use a sick day or an hour, everything. They sell back, not sell back, but they can convert 2 weeks of sick leave into administrative personal leave. Yeah, when's this all gonna be tallied up, totaled up, corrected up? And yeah, I've had people, what's our W-2s gonna look like?
I don't even talk about that.
And like Keith, my vice president, said, you know, people have called me, yeah, my first call Friday was at 5:45. Why am I in here on the weekend plowing? And I just said, I don't even think like that. Don't even think like that.
And we can't write manual checks. It all has to go through ADP.
If I write manual checks, I might as well go back to how I was doing payroll before.
Do we need to hire a staff person to help you in your office?
Yeah, payroll clerk.
I thought we had a payroll clerk.
I have an administrative assistant who's supposed to do ADP in 20 hours a week.
No, that was a clerk position. That is the payroll. Council made that a clerk 2 position for payroll.
Yes, I'm aware. I want a payroll clerk who does nothing but payroll and is not supposed to be catching everything else on top of doing payroll.
And what else does he do?
He does a little bit of everything. He takes care of OPERS and OPNF. He does, he answers the phones. He takes care of people that come into the office. He does payroll. He does everything.
Well, I believe that the payroll clerk had a private office at one point so that they could focus on payroll and OPERS and all that other stuff. And the person that was sitting at the front desk was the person that's no longer sitting there, but now is in the payroll office.
Yes, and the reason they removed is because the position that was created as administrative assistant, auditor's office, meant to do the responsibilities of an administrative assistant and a part-time payroll clerk. It is not a part-time job to do payroll.
Hi, my name is Mike Phillips. Employee of the fire department here in Marion for the past 30 years and 26 days. I'm going to be retiring on the 11th, by the 12th. The 11th will be my last day.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I have some concerns, though, because, well, she's gone over the payroll errors, you know, and I've got them too. And according to my math, you still owe me $29, so I'm going to ask you to recalculate those past 3-4 checks, and I'll challenge you to tell me where I went wrong figuring it out, because it ain't my job to figure out the paychecks. But Miranda and I have communicated about my retirement and the things that I need, information I need from her. She's communicated very well up to a point, and then it kind of fell apart. And one of those things is drop contributions to OP&F that have been made since August. So to date, I got zeros on those. She assured me that it's been paid, but I still don't see that on my account. That's a concern.
Do you see them on your, like, can you go on to your OPERS account and look at it?
Yeah, I can log into OP&F and look at it, and it's not there. It's zeros from August to date
Even on your account?
on my account.
But you're being told that it's been paid?
Like I say, she assured me that those are paid. They're not there. That's a concern. I'll wait and see. I also have a 457 account, the deferred comp account. There hasn't been a deposit to that since 11/7. I called Jenny Haney at Buckeye Deferred Comp at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and she said there haven't been any deposits since 11/7. My last deposit was posted 11/17. So from then to now, the money that comes out of my check, which is coming out of my check, every pay, is not being deposited in my 457 account. That's costing me interest. That's my pay. That's what I work for. And now I'm going to retire, and you're costing me money because the money isn't there. And she called you, you didn't answer her. She texted you, and you didn't answer her. So I'm asking, where's my money? What's the answer?
It's in the payroll account right now.
Why isn't it in my account?
Because in order for me to make those payments, I have to get reports into New World, and I can't. That's part of the problem.
This is since the beginning of November.
Yeah, I know.
So you're costing me money. I'm not happy about that. We got young guys that are working. They're gonna suffer the same thing their whole career. Because there's gonna be late payments and they're not gonna get interest. That adds up over time. You're a math expert, you know that. Yeah, to just sit there and shrug your shoulders at it, that's garbage. You're affecting all of
I'm
us.
shrugging my shoulders.
By not paying it, that's the way I take it. So, we're not happy about it. We're not happy about payroll mistakes. I don't care about ADP. What I care about is correct checks, because that's why I work. And I expect it to be correct every time I get a check, and not to have to sit down and do the math over my past 3 checks, and I can't come up with a balance. I see that you still owe me a little bit of money. Why is my longevity not correct? It's been the same way for a long time. It didn't change. So you're the one in charge. That's why we're here talking to you. But I'm going to retire. I have that drop account I mentioned. So within that account is some money that is available to me if it's rolled over to another, like my 457 out of the drop retirement account. There's almost $40,000 in there that I can have deposited in my account if it gets done within 30 days of my separation. But the way the money's handled, and the money's not even deposited, if I don't get it in that 30 days, OP&F tells me I won't get it at all. I'll just get a tax credit for it. Well, tax credits don't buy me anything. So I'm going to ask you to get it together. Get my money in there. Get everybody's money in there. Get the paychecks right. I don't want to hear about ADP. That's not going to pay anybody's bills. Thank you.
Since somebody mentioned the W-2s, and I have the knowledge I think I should present, it's back on Tuesday, December 23rd, an email was sent to Miranda reminding her that ER health costs will need to be put on the W-2 since you don't have ADP benefits or ACA. You would be responsible for creating a worksheet and putting the amounts for the year. It needs to go in and it gives some directions, and it says that you could add these amounts to get the amounts on their W-2s for the end of the year. I followed up on that email this morning also. And I got an email at 9:09 this morning from Marcia Hicks saying that she did not see anything has been run to have this updated for the W-2s yet. So again, it's a reoccurring theme that they get an email, they don't respond to it, they don't answer it, and they don't take care of what the email was sent about. That's my opinion.
Does anybody have any solutions? Can we meet with ADP? Administration, can we call Ms. Hicks or whoever and see if we can set something up?
Absolutely, we can reach out to them. But again, it usually comes back to something here that we would have to fix on our end that I haven't been able to fix yet.
State your name, please.
Kimberly Mayer, 890 Gephardt Street. I do not work for the city of Marion. I'm just a resident. All this is very troubling. And I'm looking at you, Mayor. I'm hearing you blame the auditor. What are you going to do? You're the mayor. Okay? You used to be the police chief. So are you qualified to be the mayor? Because you're pointing fingers at her as in she's not qualified to do her job. I know I vote a lot of times, but someone needs to be held responsible. And you're not going to just sit there and point the finger to her, because it sounds like she is screaming to you, telling you it's ADP. And if you say yourself you can't get ADP here, then we need to get rid of ADP. How do we do that? How do we do that, Mayor? I'm looking for an answer.
Good question. It would have to be looked into. We have a contract with ADP, so that's something that we would have to look into.
Okay, so we have a contract for, we just got into this in November, you guys say?
No.
That's when we went live, August?
Oh, no,
April.
it started like February, March.
Oh, February, March, okay. Well, all these people's paychecks are being affected, and they're pointing at you. And that's not fair for you just to point at you. I'm like, this is a city, if we need to have a different company do it, then we need to have a different company do it. How do we disband these people if they won't show their face in here for the city? Because I want these people's money's paid. That $40,000 for the gym is important. You're saying like hire positions and do this and that. I'm hearing a whole lot of pass the buck. Not from you, per se. Not from you. From you, Mr. Mayor. I'm coming to you, Mr. Mayor, because you're the mayor. You're the mayor. Don't point your finger at someone else. Stand up and do something. I'm standing here. I don't even work for the city. I will be that person that answers the phone and do all that stuff. I will do all that. Or I put in an application for that.
I'd like to clarify one thing, though.
Please.
The mayor is an elected position. Council is an elected position. The auditor's office is an elected position. The treasurer's office is an elected position.
Correct.
We have to stay in our own lane.
You have to stay in your own lane. So you guys all have to stay in your own lane?
Yes.
That's what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay, what do I have, what do I have, what lane am I in as a citizen? What lane is that?
You're in our lane.
I'm in your lane over here with you guys?
And we're trying to get this resolved.
I know, I'm hearing you, and I'm just trying to make sure because I'm new to this stuff. But I'm not going away. I'm not going away. I'm trying to say, because there's something going on, and there's money's being pushed, doing something somewhere. I'm trying to figure out what it is. I don't know who it is.
We have no control over
I know
what
you-
happens
I
in the
know.
auditor's office.
I
He
know.
has no control
I know,
over
but
what
I'm just
happens.
saying, this is the city of Marion we're talking about,
I
and we got a
understand.
lot of stuff going on.
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Somebody somewhere's got a button, and somebody's in control of something. I just don't like the mayor constantly pointing the fingers at her. If there's something else we can do, is my point.
I absolutely wouldn't point the blame at anybody if it didn't rest where it rested at. I can't help that. If I could go in and clean that office out and make it better, I would. I can't do that.
And to
It's
the
an
mayor,
elected position.
and to the mayor's point too, I am also CC'd on all those emails. So I know what she has responded to and what she has not responded to, and he is correct. She does not respond to the emails. She's not getting the reports and the information that is being requested of her office to the people that need to input it to get the job done.
So we have someone that's not qualified for the position.
Basically, yes.
I'm sorry. I don't like. Okay, so when do we vote when we vote for the treasurer again? For auditor?
Auditor, 2028, the end of 27.
So if we're all staying in our lanes, can we go back a second to the ADP ordinance that was passed last year and clarify what it means when it says that the mayor has authorization to enter into a contract with a third-party firm to do payroll? Because as far as I'm aware, that's my realm, not his. But that's not really staying in his lane, is it? And then on top of that, to the point of not supposedly answering emails, I answer emails as quickly as I can, given the fact that, again, I'm spending day in, day out, combing through data that I have to do by myself because someone else is already doing payroll. So either I do it or no one does it, and then you're really getting behind on whether or not those bills are gonna get paid.
We've reached out to you several times and asked if we could get assistance for you, several times.
And
you,
how am I
you've
gonna
told
get
us
assistance?
no every
How am I
time.
gonna get assistance if we don't have the budget for it? Because as I recall in the budget meeting that we've had, we were told repeatedly for 2 departments that we don't have the budget for staff. So let's get assistance but not give me the money to pay for it.
You need to address that with the mayor, the budget, and council.
I'm addressing it right now, where the mayor, the budget, and council are.
But this has been going on since last year, so do we need to work something into the 26 budget to get this resolved?
No, we need to get rid of ADP.
Not gonna happen.
I will if I have anything to say about it.
I just want to ask you a question, since I have you here, because I've asked it in an email. I didn't get the answer to the question. I called and I stopped in your office, and I was told by your assistant to get the answer and give it to me in an email, and I didn't get that. So what I need to know is there a form I need to come to your office, fill out to have my buyouts rolled into my HSA account for 2026?
You would go to Amy for that.
Go to Amy.
Yes, there's
Okay.
there's an HSA direct deposit form. You'll fill that out with the amount that you need to roll into your HSA, so she'll know what to move over.
Okay, thank you.
State your name, please,
Jeff Hansball,
and where do you live?
1164 Summer Lot, Hoffman Road West.
And you're a city employee?
I'm a city employee. I've worked here for 28 years, over 28 years. I just want to go back and reiterate on a couple of things that our president had talked about. Specifically the cures. I mean, you can go to page 53 in the handbook and it spells it out. New World, for checks, there was a New World system. Had all nice, right down the line. You get to ADP, payroll, that's it. Taxes, that's it. No procurals whatsoever. So therefore, that office is not following through on your guys'
Oh,
wishes.
ours is wrong too,
Yeah,
so, you know, we're not exempt.
So, my other comment is about ADP. I'd never heard of ADP before we got here. All of a sudden, I started seeing commercials on TV. It specifies for small businesses. That's all they do is small businesses. According to you, they do other municipalities. I have no idea about that. But it's geared for small businesses. Is our municipality qualified as a small business?
I can tell you that ADP, I know personally, they're one of the largest payroll providers in the United States. Large companies, small companies, and hundreds of municipalities all around the United States.
Okay.
So this is not a unique situation.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, if I might, I think the company you're talking about, it is called ADP, and it is like a private security firm that does security for small businesses.
No, this is payroll.
This is payroll?
This is all over TV. It specifies payroll. So, okay, that's it. Thank you.
I'd like to get a solution to this tonight, to have a plan to start working in a direction tomorrow. I'm willing to come up here and do whatever needs to be done, meet with whoever.
Madam Chairperson, I have a suggestion. Give the administration the opportunity to talk with ADP, call special finance for next Monday night at, say, 5:30, so we have a whole hour before the council meeting to talk, and ask the auditor to provide you a presentation on a solution, and then, of course, the administration would share their thoughts on a possible solution. Have the experts provide you some choices.
Sounds like a good idea to me. Not you. Nobody likes special meetings, but I think that's an excellent idea. So can I call for a special meeting next Monday at 5:30 here on second floor?
Yep.
I'll second that.
And that would be January
12th.
the 12th. So January 12th, Monday, 2026 at 5:30. Special finance meeting. You will have a presentation and some solutions and answers for us at that meeting, please. Is there any other matters not on the agenda? Questions, concerns, comments? If not, 7:23, we're adjourned.
My drop says
You did.
Facebook because I can use it too.
Hi, Enzo.
See your show tomorrow.
See you.
I've had my name spelled so many different ways in the last month. That was
He's done.
No, I've come to 2 minutes.
56 months.
Hold on a second. Well, I've got questions, but I got some questions. So, I think I know the answer to a lot of them, but I just want them to be put out in the open. Yeah. And that's, people need
It's 7:26 on January 5th, 2026. I'm going to call the Legislation, Codes and Regulations Committee to order. Clerk, would you take roll, please?
Mr. R. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Kreider?
Here.
Mr. Clark?
Here.
We have on the agenda a summary of proceedings from December 15th, 2025. Does anybody have any comments or questions?
Motion to approve. Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Kreider?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
We have one item of new business. It's a Ray permit on South Main Street. I have a couple of questions on this to start with. Number one, I guess Ray's is out of business. Number two was the filing date on this is February 25th of 2025, 10 months ago. It was mailed to us on December 19th of 2025, and we've got until the 19th of January to respond, which puts us under a tight schedule here. Is there anyone here to represent the applicant? Nobody? Does anyone have any comments or anything on this application?
You go ahead. Oh, thank you. I do. Yeah, there's several things. Again, with this situation in particular, with the business have been closed in another location, then last week hearing that they have declared bankruptcy, does that permit, even though maybe corporately they're still going to go through all that, does that stay with them or does that stay with the property in particular? I want to defer to the law office for perhaps you know that.
I haven't researched it recently,
Okay.
but again, a liquor permit has value by itself.
Right.
I think from experience, I'm going back 20 years, you can't buy a liquor permit unless you have a business where you're going to operate it, but they go together. So just to address the fact that they're going through the struggles that they're experiencing, that still has value to the entity. So it's not surprising to see that there's an application to renew or transfer, that type of thing. That's what one would expect. I think we should act on it, assuming that something will reopen. And again, my experience is the license goes with the business operation, so whoever comes in will need the license, which is tied to the business.
It can be like a carrot if they lease it or buy the business. So yeah, typically, yes. Just for disclosure, 38 years ago, I co-owned that building, and it's gone through, interestingly enough, a lot of different phases. I was questioning too. It's got a D2. I don't know what the current. Is that was a D1 perhaps, or was that a D2? I don't know.
Yeah, we approved a D1 last year prior to Ray's moving in.
Okay, so it was beer only.
For beer only. And I'm wondering if they applied for this at the same time, and for whatever reason, it just never got sent in.
Okay. Hold on just a second. I just got transferable. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, there's been, any negative action, but just to keep that going. The main thing is that's what my concern was, whether that stays with the location and so forth, then that could be transferred or whatever. So that's all I had.
Does anyone know, does Ray Ray's own the building?
I do not.
Or is that locally owned?
I believe, yes.
You say it's local?
It's Luke Henry.
Yeah. Oh, Luke.
Yeah.
Okay, so the wishes of the committee?
Motion to approve without recommendation. Is that?
Okay.
So these are a little quirky to the new
Okay.
members, and you may remember.
Yes,
this.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So this is the only one where the motion would be to take no action.
Action, that's what I meant.
It's a strange
Thank you. Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your motion?
No, motion to take no action then. Yeah.
Clark?
I'll second it.
Yeah.
Clerk, take roll, please.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Kreider?
Yes.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Matters not on the agenda, does anyone have anything pertaining to legislation, codes, and regulations that they would like to bring before the committee? Any of the administration? Hearing none, we're adjourned, 7:32. Short and sweet. Just got like good questions.
We get the recorder shut off before anybody says anything.